Hello and welcome to Herman Manyora's channel for today's political conversation. If you're new here, my name is Jadiel, Kabiro, here with the owner, founder of this channel, Professor Herman Manyora. Thank you so much for joining us. And how are you?
I'm okay.
We have just done another video on Raila. Today we're speaking about Uhuru's role in presidential elections for 2022. He's the president. He's going to determine a lot, especially from where he comes from, a community that holds quite a significant number of votes. His role, you've always been saying we should forget that he's going to support Ruto come 2022. What role will he play in Raila's candidature for the elections in 2022?
First of all, any outgoing president will normally take a keen interest on those who succeeding. Sometimes even for very good reasons, really that they love the country, and for that reason, they'll want people who come to be people who have good intentions, who want to push the country forward. But more often, they really want to help their friends to succeed them, or they want to have some influence after they leave. So for that reason, I do not see Uhuru folding hands, taking his bags, and having somebody follow him and enter a helicopter the way Moi did and just go home the way Kibaki did. He must really have an interest in what takes place.
Kotu Sekjen has been saying that he's too young to retire. Do you think he'll play a major role even after the elections?
There is no way you can wish Uhuru away. No. That's what Atwoli meant. This guy will be around for a while. Yeah, he'll be around. Whether his choice for successor wins or not, he'll be around. Because Uhuru, to understand Uhuru, you must go behind and look beyond just Uhuru being president. Uhuru is a Kenyatta. And Kenyatta is an institution. You get it? Yeah. Kenyatta itself, that name alone is an institution. They have a serious interest in this country. Again, to look at Uhuru, you must look at people who are deep in business. People whose economic interest in this country is so deep, they can't just walk away. You see? And then you must look at Kenya, how Kenya is configured, and begin to see where does Uhuru come from? Where are his people? They are all over this country. And anybody who has been in power, and you come from the mountain, and your community is spread across the country, their interest must make you sometimes have sleepless nights. So Uhuru will take an interest in this country, whether or not his choice for president succeeds. Okay,
the CS/PSs have been in Raila's rallies. Matiangis, ICT, Joe Musheru. I've seen several PS in the rallies. Is this showing that Uhuru has already started putting his finger into this campaign?
Uhuru is supporting Raila. Uhuru is already mobilizing, activating machinery, but he hasn't. The moment he does it, everybody will see. The country will tremble. And I've told people, do not underrate the power of the presidency. No, don't underrate it. The presidency in seeking a re-election, the president in seeking a re-election, or in supporting somebody at the end of his mandate, whatever constitutional term, has so much influence. Not that they will always have their way, but to say they have no influence is to be naive. They have a lot of influence, but they will not always have their way.
Is Ruto going to be damaged badly by this influence now that it seems like there is a bad blood between the two of them? How will this affect the DP?
If Kenya is a Kenya, I understand. To run against deep state is very difficult. You will have a lot of challenges.
Uhuru being the deep state?
Yeah, it's very difficult to run against the system. It's very difficult. Let's be honest. It's very difficult. First of all, a president, when he's seeking re-election, or when he's supporting somebody, the instruments of state are arraigned against the opponent.
Everything.
Even in America, people have argued, what should we do when a president is seeking re-election? He's still the president. His power is everywhere. He's using Air Force One.
Remember Donald Trump?
Yeah, he's using all these things. And how do we manage such a person? That debate is in America even today. Yeah. So to say that the president can just go quietly, walking away because he's leaving, is to be very naive.
Well, we've seen instances where the president supports someone and
they lose. I've said yes, they don't always have their way.
Yes.
Don't use the Kenyan example. Those who are using the Kenyan example do not understand who is the president of this country now.
Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
So when he came in 2002, some people are full shit thinking he was beaten. No, Uhuru was simply being introduced to the politics. Give Kibaki a couple of years. Process Uhuru Kenyatta. When he's ready, make him the president. That is the system was working. We say that Uhuru was. If Moi wanted to win, who could have beaten Saitoti? Even Kibaki would not have stood against Saitoti. Leave alone beating him. Standing, presenting his nomination papers. How would he? If Saitoti was the KANU candidate, Kibaki would not. How?
So the Kenyan politics, as you say,
or even Mudavadi, he would have beat anybody hands down. The only person Moi would have gambled with would have been Raila. That was a gamble. But Mudavadi, no gamble. Saitoti, sure, 90% of the votes. 80.
So, as we speak about the president's role in the elections, are you saying that they are seeing even the elections for 2032 now, preparing a way for themselves?
The system, whether it be in the politics or in business, they are never in a hurry. They are patient. They play the long game. You are seeing here, they are seeing far. And that's why I've told Kenyans, prepared for Gideon. Prepare for Gideon. He will get inside there. 2027, 2032 around. If they know their way. So Uhuru was for 207. But the way things played out because of the referendum that made Raila very popular and the ODM, you could not introduce Uhuru in 207. So you had to let the game continue with Kibaki there. But now put Uhuru almost firmly in control of government in the second term when he was deputy prime minister.
When you speak the way you are, someone like me, an ordinary Kenyan, or someone that supports Ruto, doesn't this add value to Ruto, showing that we can beat the system dynasty?
Yes. You can even use that as a campaign tool. The systems are coming, we'll beat them. And that's what Ruto is doing. But doesn't mean you'll beat them. Because systems are powerful. Systems are powerful. So the game now, according to me, is perhaps to give Raila the presidency as you wait for the right person. And that will explain why it will be critical who they make deputy running mate. Also, don't forget, the moment they win through Raila, they will quickly move to change the constitution. The BBI will be reintroduced. And they will win, hands down. Now, with that, some aspect of the BBI could be implemented immediately. And some of these players are brought on board.
Gideon Prime
But the eyes on 2027 and 2032 for Gideon Moi. It's simple. But Kenyans can nip that in the bud. Ruto can challenge that. He can beat them at their game.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. You know, you talk to them, you advise them. What strategies?
I don't advise them.
We know you.
But I know them.
We know you advise.
No, forget about it.
Okay, we know the strategies.
Look at my shoe. It's almost...
Okay, what strategies should Ruto put into place so that when this deep state, when this system, this machinery comes, he's able to tackle them?
Ruto, I think, understands the system. Or so he thinks. Or maybe he thinks. So, he will work to beat them from an insider perspective. He knows them, he knows their game, he tried to beat them. Whether he will succeed is another thing. I would think it will be very difficult. For him to beat them.
Siku nyingi mumetuambia nyinyi ndio mtapanga. Mumepanga ukabila. Mukapanga kugawana mamlaka nyinyi na watoto wenu. Safari hii hatuwezi kuwaruhusu mupange. Hawa mahasla, hawa mamamboga hawa, watu hawa makanga, hawa wabodaboda, yule wabeba, tutapanga safari hii na tutaunda serikali ya mahasla. Wasituletee, my friends. Na hawa ambao wanatuambia maneno, watajua hawajui. Watajua hawajui. Ama namna gani? Ndio tunawaambia, endesheni maneno polepole. Wacheni vitisho. Wacheni madharau. Wacheni matusi. Nilikuwa natishiwa siku hiyo, kama ningekuwa mtu muoga, hatungeunda hii serikali ya Jubilee. Kama Uhuru Kenyatta angekuwa mtu muoga, hatungeunda hii serikali ya Jubilee, kwa sababu tulikuwa tunatishiwa mambo mingi. Choices have consequences. Nyinyi hamufai kwa sababu mko na kesi ya kule na ni kesi ya uongo. Ni vile tu tunaambiwa hata saa hii. Tunatishiwa ati iko system, ati iko deep state, ati iko watu watatuibia kura, hata mkipiga kura namna gani kuna watu wameketi mahali fulani wataamua. Mimi nataka niwaambie hawa watu tunawangojea. Hiyo deep state tunangojea. Na hiyo system tunangojea. Watakuja na system, sisi tutakuja na wananchi na Mungu. Na tutaona vile hii kazi itaendelea.
At what point then should we say that it's hands down, Raila has won because of Uhuru's support?
When you move into 2022, January, February, you'll see. You see some of these people who are lying there with Ruto, they will just melt. Because you can now see the entire machinery of the government is with Raila. That you see, that you have already seen.
Yeah.
And the people, government employees and what. Next will be the politicians. Next will be certain sectors of the society. And the moment Mount Kenya decides, around January, February, it'll be game shot.
But you know, sometimes you say this, you speak about Raila not meeting expectations in terms of his campaign strategies.
Yes.
There's a time you said he needs to oil his campaigns. If
Yes.
it doesn't, he won't get the votes.
Yes.
There's a conversation we had, you said, if it doesn't get the perception, even if he wins, it will be quite difficult for him to have a good presidency.
That's the thing they should work on right now. But the advantage Raila may have now, what might help him, not even advantage, is now it will not be Raila running the campaign. So some of the Raila mistakes will be mitigated by the entry of the Jubilee side into his campaign. So it's not an entirely Raila campaign. It is a Jubilee ODM campaign, Uhuru Raila campaign. So his weaknesses on the other side will be mitigated by the president and his Jubilee.
You've reminded me of the allegations of Cambridge Analytica. I hope they don't happen next year.
But politics has everything.
It
may come, but in another form.
This is a political conversation 101. If you want to know what's happening, what will happen in the future, you better tell your friends to tune into these conversations. Until we do have them again, my name is Jadiel Kabiro here with Herman Manyora.